Hello, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. Today's video: sellers or buyers? Who is easier to find? Don't like to use the word easy when describing wholesaling, but for the sake of this video, it will apply. The word simple is more um, descriptive of the process of wholesaling. It's not always easy. But before I get into the video, YouTube is where most of my content, all the free videos that I have here. It is amazing that someone will see one of my videos and can't find the rest, but hey, I know this is my thing. I'm a little techie, I guess you'll say. It's my hobby. The reason why you're watching these videos is a hobby. I'm just fortunate enough to make a little money off of it. Not my living, but a little money. But I have over 100 plus videos here on YouTube at my channel, Teach Me Flipping. If you don't know how to find a YouTube channel, just type into YouTube how to find a YouTube channel. But 100 plus videos of everything you need to know about wholesaling houses. There's no other place on the internet that's going to give the information that I offer on this particular topic of real estate investing. If that's not enough, and you need a coach and a step-by-step course on wholesaling houses and wholesaling apartments, then you can go to my website, junkers101.com. That's junkers101.com. You know, you can call or text me at 205-492-3425 for general questions. I'm not going to walk you through a deal. You know, that's what the course and coaching is for. But, I'll answer questions, Not hard to reach is my point. Enough with the advertisement, on to the actual video. Well, I talk about this in a number of other videos, and I think I've put out a similar video to this before. I'm not sure. Some of the stuff was on my website before we redesigned, and I'm not sure. There's too many. So, if you heard this before, then, but I don't think you have. Sellers or buyers, who is easier to find? Now, there's more than one way to skin a cat, as I always like to say. The way I do it is proven. The way others have done is proven. This also will tie into, should I have a buyer's list before I start and then find what they want? I'm on the other side of it. The way I was taught, the way I was trained, and the way I train is to find the deal and create your buyer's list from your deals. But which is easier to find is the purpose of this particular video. And in my opinion, aka the Flip Man, in my opinion, buyers are easier to find. And my theory on it, and I guess it's not a theory because it works, I make money from it, and I've taught others to do the same, but once you have a property under contract and it is a deal, that's the first thing we have to establish, and it is a deal, finding a buyer for it in your market, in most cases, not always, but in most cases, I'm going to say high 90 percentile, you can find a buyer and multiple buyers for it. And the reason being is that I don't care where you are, people are trying to make money, and there are people that have money to spend investing in real estate. Now, each market is different. The most difficult thing is what they're willing to pay, but assuming you've reached that mark of you've negotiated a price that's attractive to buyers in your market for a particular area in your market. Your next job is to let these people know that this property is available at this price, at this very attractive price. Now, once you do that, and that can be done through several ways, through bandit signs within that area, that works well. Obviously, Craigslist, that's free. Those are going to be your two most effective ways that I've found. Now, you could do direct mail, but that's more, that takes a little time, but you still can direct mail buyers with an actual property that you have. You could actually go to your real estate investment associations or clubs in your area to promote your properties. Some are a lot better than others. The one here where I'm located, not that open-minded. I'm not going to go any farther than that. That's why I haven't been in years. But anyway, so the thing is that what I'm just going to simplify this one. Some of you have spoken to me, and this is the way I've explained it to you. When you negotiate a deal with a motivated seller, basically you've negotiated a briefcase full of cash. The only way that someone can take advantage of that briefcase full of cash, which is equity basically, is they have to have cash to do so. And their purpose as the buyer, the cash buyer, is to take their money to make more money. So it's not hard to give away money is basically what you're doing once you've negotiated an attractive deal. Now, the hardest thing about the business starting out is figuring out what's attractive in your market. A lot of my students and non-students, they'll send me a text or call me with some numbers. And the only thing I really need to know when someone calls me is, I don't need to know about how many bedrooms or baths, none of that. All I need to know in most cases is how much they're asking and what's the ARV. All right. I've been doing it so long when I hear a number now, I always preference that the numbers that they may give me may not work in my market. And a lot of times you won't know that until you actually start dealing with a buyer and dealing with buyers in your market. But when you start talking about $60,000 and $70,000 ARVs or less, in my market, and even if the house is livable, needs repairs but it's livable, I gotta get those properties in this day and age now below $15,000. In most cases, got to be below $10,000. Now, to someone in a different market, say the ARV is $70,000, they can get it under contract for $25,000. That sounds like a deal, and it may be a deal. You won't really know when you're starting out until you put a couple of properties under contract. Not that you're trying to just wing it, but you really won't know what your buyers are willing to pay until you. That's why I try to still get them to somewhat follow my lead in my market and get them that cheap in the low below $15,000, a lot of times below $10,000. There's really nowhere else to go but to zero from that point. So and then you'll know by once you start marketing the property how much interest you get from it at the price point that you'll set initially through your marketing effort. So to answer the question for this video, in my opinion, from my experience, it's really not an opinion, from my experience, buyers are easier to find than sellers. So that's why when someone asks me, should I have a buyer's list before I start, and I tell them, no, don't even worry about that. Now, obviously, if you can network with someone before you get a deal on the contract, you do it. Anything free that you could do, go ahead and do it. But I always try to make sure students, even non-students, know that spend your time trying to find that briefcase full of cash. Because once you have that briefcase full of cash, I ain't gonna say it's easy, because it's sometimes still not easy, but it's a lot easier finding someone that wants that briefcase full of cash versus someone wanting to give away a briefcase full of cash, if that makes sense. So that's basically saying it's easier to find a cash buyer versus finding a motivated seller. And locating a motivated seller, it'll stick out like a sore thumb if you have your marketing engine going, your advertising engine going, where you're talking to 3, 4, 5 people per day. When you hear that number, and the more you do it, the more familiar you're going to get with ARVs in your market, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. You'll be ready to drop what you're doing to go view that property and put it under contract. At least that's how I operate. So hopefully this answers the actual question. Sellers or buyer, which is easier? Buyers are easier to find. So when you're starting out, in my opinion, spend your time finding that briefcase full of cash, motivated sellers negotiating lots of equity, and then placing a buyer with it. And the great thing about it, you will also have an opportunity to build a buyer's list, cash buyer's list, through the marketing and advertisements of your properties. You may have 20 people to call you. A lot of you heard me say this. You may have 20 people to call you, but you can only sell it to one individual. Those other 19, you want to collect their information for future deals. Their name, contact number, how many they buy per year, what price range, what areas they like to buy in. All of that will factor in also how many they like to buy per month, say per year, but really per month. And that's how you build your database of cash buyers. You market your properties, even if you already have a buyer for it, because investors get in and out of real estate. So you could never not keep adding to your cash buyers list for that reason alone. Hopefully this video helps. Don't forget about my 100 plus videos here on my YouTube channel. If you're here on YouTube, you need a course, a coach, go to junkers101.com. You can get the course and coaching for wholesaling houses and wholesaling apartments. You know, you can call or text me, 205-492-3425. And please, I don't do this enough. Matter of fact, I barely do it. Tweet this video, post it on Facebook, get it out there, let friends and family see it. You know, you may change someone's life with all the free content I give away, even if they don't sign up for anything, or at least open their eyes that there's another opportunity out there to make money. Thanks, and hopefully this video